Hi everybody. It's been a minute, hasn't it? I've been so busy. I had a lot of personal things going on. As y'all know, we lost our dog. We ended up, after the battle and the fight, trying to save her, we ended up having to lose her in the end. So that's why I've been kind of out of it. And but today we're in it, and we're gonna do a Teir tray. In fact, it'll be my first Teir tray. And what I did is I popped down there to the Dollar Tree, okay, and they had these wonderful plastic. They're plastic. I think if I hold them up closely enough, you could kind of see they had this pattern on the back of it. That's really not going to be there. You'll see why as I get going, and we're making our first Teir tray. And I'll take you along for the ride. I'm going to try to do some editing so that if things seem a little too long or repetitive, maybe I can cut it out. If not, it's a learning experience, and I'm learning, and I appreciate every single time I get a new subscriber. I just want this big old hug to my new subscribers. Thank you. And with all that being said, if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. The little bell there, you hit it, and it tells you every time I upload a new video. And also leave a comment. I read them. I really am interested in what you have to say to me about what I'm doing. Do you see anything that I am doing wrong? Do you see things that I'm doing right? Do you like? Do you dislike? Even a photo would be cool to see what you've created with your Teir tray. Okay, thank you, and I'll be right back. And here you see, I'm going to pour a little bit of our chalk paint by Rust-Oleum. And this is the first coat of the bottom side of one of the three plastic. I need you to know it is plastic at the Dollar Tree. And I use a little trick by putting a can underneath, because we do have that kind of situation where it can't sit directly on a paper towel, or then we get it stuck to the paper towel. We don't want that. Okay, as you see, just whizzing right along. Then I come back in to the sides. Just like that. I do tend to get a little quiet when I'm thinking, concentrating and thinking. And my friends are going, you think? Come on. Alrighty. And hopefully my new friends that are subscribing to my channel, just love that. I love reading the comments that I get, talking about their, your or their lives. It just feels special that they'd even want to share it with me. And then when you're all done with your sides, that little bit of white paint that you left in this very, very center that you poured out, you're just simply doing that and try to covering up any kind of lines. Simple, simple. Almost like a lazy Susan going round and round like this, right? I see some bad brush strokes over here. Some over here. Just use it like a lazy Susan. Remembering that the other side is dry. There you go. Better. All right. Just gonna go now, set this over to the side. You don't need to watch me do that. Okay, I'm on my second one now. And we're just getting the bottom Now I'll probably have to put a couple of blah, 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 blah. Can't talk. I'm gonna have to probably put a couple of coats on the bottoms of each 3 of these, because it is the plastic, and for some reason, I don't know what it is about Dollar Tree plastic, but I find it a little hard sometimes to get it covered, even with, using chalk paint, which covers everything, pretty much. But, alright, take that leftover amount that you left in the middle, move it down, down. If you see a big chunk, get it out. So I got all these little paper towels around. Now I'm just going around it. And sometimes I'll be holding it so tight that I've marked the paint from the prior layer. Isn't that fun? Any crafters with me, I'm hoping. Okay, so now we've got this base on. Not going to touch it again. If I touch it again with chalk paint, it comes what? It comes up. Yeah. And then it's a big pain in the butt. So now, to speed things along, because I've got 3 that are all wet right now, and a good little trick to have if you're not one of them high dollar pros out there, which I am not, with a big, 35 followers. I can only afford a little blow dryer, okay? But a blow dryer works just as good. The other thing they use is the professionals is a heat gun, is what they call it, and it's just like a blow dryer, but it's heavier duty. Okay, you're not going to want to hear this, so put you on pause. I'm back, and things are nice and dry. I did want to give you a little tip, and this is fine for me, the way this particular one turned out, because what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be using a Crackle Medium. And I don't know if you've ever heard of it before, but it's put out by Folk Art. I know my camera gives this backwards, that's why I'm reading it. It is Crackle Medium for an instant aged look, okay? And what it does is this awesome texturizing color that you've ever seen. It's just really pretty. And crackle is a good way to say it. Almost a little bit like what my chalk paint did with bad brush strokes. I'm not sure which is giving you a good view, but there's bad brush strokes. Okay. When you get a bad one and you had a bad moment, you're not, and there's little bubbles or something blue in it, like there's like a little bubble. I don't know where that came from. Dollar Tree puts these great little blocks out. They're 2 in a pack for $1. I'm still on the first one after a year of crafting, day after day after day. So that speaks to it. And top of it, it's not too rough to where I'm going to take away all the paint. And I can lay it flat, okay, so that anything that was raised up, little bumps or whatever, flattens all the way out. Okay, that's the tip. And the other tip is to have your paper towel ready, or your little vacuum. I have a little ladybug vacuum, because you're going to have a lot of white dust from doing the sanding. But boy, it looks beautiful now, a lot better. And then I'll be back, and we'll be ready to go on to the next step, which is after I clean this up, get the dust off, we're going to use the Crackle Medium. So get out your acrylic paints and choose 2 colors. One being your primary color, the one that's going to stand out the most, and one that you want underneath. I'm feeling that I'm going to go with a light to medium brown as a bottom layer, and the top layer to be a white acrylic, so that the brown will come through. Okay, well, this will make more sense as we get along. Okay, I'm yapping and yapping. Let me get this cleaned up. Be right back. Okay, now what we're gonna do, since we've got the bottom and the top done, we still have some crackling to do. I did tell you about that. One thing about me, as you get to know me, if you're a new subscriber, is as the project evolves, it sometimes changes from what my original vision is. And you'll notice that because I'll be like, oh, I'm going to put rope around it. Yeah. Then the next scene, you see me putting something else there. And you're like, what happened to the... Well, what happens is my creative flow changes. And I really don't know what a project is going to look like until it's done. So the decisions are kind of made along the way. Well, now that I've explained all that, get to know me a little bit. This is some rope. I got it from Amazon. That kind of gives you an idea of thickness, maybe like a finger. There you go. Thick. I put glue. Whenever you cut it, it wants to separate. In fact, I'm going to be using this to make a tree before the season's over, if I can make it before Christmas Day. Anyway, we're going to get our end in so it's secured somewhat, okay? And what we're going to do is, the tier tray would be sitting like this, and what I'm going to do is we're going to lay rope, and we're going to glue that around, and it looks like it probably would take two loops around. Okay, here we go. We are ready. We got our glue gun. And if I can make up my mind where I want to start, let's see, right here, I think. How about that? Slap us a little bit of glue on there. Sorry, there's not a lot of vision. Not a whole lot to see at this point. I'm just basically wanting to get that beginning of the rope to begin its journey around and around. Going a little more risky there, doing a little bit longer. Now this is a thick rope, so I can't go too long without having some glue. Matter of fact, I put glue, I think I'm feeling like I'm gonna put it all the way. This is not a voiceover. I don't know how to do one of those yet. So this is kind of on the fly as I'm teaching you. All I'm doing is putting a small bead of glue right under the lip of this first or second or third, I'm not even sure what level this particular tray of the tier tray is gonna go. Okay, there we go. And this thing bugs me, but then there's not another way to sit it down. So I've asked my husband for Christmas for a new glue gun, maybe one that is cordless. I would love that. Cordless would be awesome. And a stand. That would be the best. Even if I had to deal with the cord, I'd rather deal with the cord if I had to make a choice. I'm hoping not. So I hope there's a stand and battery operated, or LCD, or whatever the new stuff is. I'd like a little more detailed into it, but it's not too bad. I have they're called mini glue guns, so they have a very mini, meaning mini, tip to them, and it's when you're working on mini projects, then you want a glue gun that'll give you a very thin line. Alright. We're coming around the corner. do is just kind of seamlessly get myself around the rope. This part's a little tricky, I won't lie. Putting a lot of pressure, holding. Got a big old bunch of this rope, but we don't want it to tangle and get all in a loop, which it sometimes loves to do. Oops, got a little out of a line there. It happens, no big deal. Probably needed a little extra glue there anyway. And if it pops out, just hit it with your hand real quick, your finger, and it's gone. Well, then it sticks, and then you gotta go like that, and it's off. Okay. All the way. Trying to go a little bit faster for everybody. To decide whether we like another third row or not. We'll have to see. I'm not sure. Are you guys? Now see all these little hairs, they call it, that are on the rope? Don't fear, those will be gone, and I'll show you a little trick to get rid of them after we've finished roping. And we have 2 other ones to go to rope, but I won't put you through the misery of watching. I thought one would probably be significant for y'all. So, if not, let me know. I can do another tutorial on it. Just leave a comment. Be more than happy to do that. Yeah, more than happy. Alright, decision time. Well, let's get it to stick first. It came up right there. Let's get it sticking good first here. See here. Oop, got my ow! I hate that when it happens. When all of a sudden, out of nowhere, out of a place you wouldn't even think would have hot glue, some will ooze out and then bite you in the finger. Make you go, ow. Did you hear me? I went, ow. And this is a little scraper, because I'm going to have to come back and scrape that glue off, because that looks terrible. Well, good Lord of mercy. Alright. Let's make sure that's adhesed really well. And then decide what we want. Do we want another layer? I think we have enough. I really do. So, this is going to be the tricky part, which is cutting it, because it loves to fray. And that is not going to be strong enough. We're going to have to break out the big dogs for this cut. Okay, now without moving a finger, that drop on the floor, because that's what my hot glue gun does. It's a pain in the butt. That little stand that comes with it just does not work. I tell you, I would love to talk to these people that make these glue guns. I could make them so much better. Or at least correct the faultiness. People are probably thinking, well, she's awful cocky. I don't mean to be sounding cocky. probably couldn't. I wouldn't know what to do. You get it? All right. I like that. I think that is good. Now let's, as we were talking about how to get rid of the hairs, let me just quickly show you all you do. Fire starter. That's better than using a regular lighter, and you see why. The flame is right there next to your finger. You don't want that, okay? So, what we're going to do, plus I don't want to overdo it. So, what I do is do a little bit at a time. The ones that are on the top. Bit of a challenge, isn't it? I haven't used this particular rope in quite a while, actually. I've forgotten about this part. That's probably why I haven't used it in a while. It's alright though. It's a pretty rope, it really is. Once it's all unharried, shaved. Hey, there we go. Once it's shaved, that's our new word, okay? Shaved. Shaved. Our rope is shaved. It gets a little color from the fire. Doesn't hurt it a bit, actually. And it gives it character. And you get stubborn pieces. Just keep yourself working around. I guess I might wonder if that, does that work for you guys? If I look there, you can see what's going on, right? See it? Boom, boom, boom. I think that's a better view, isn't it? You guys get to see too. I can't see, but I don't need to see, right? Nope. See the little hairs disappearing. We know it's working. I've done this so many times. Okay, boom, boom, boom. A couple extra strays. I'm going to hang on to the top. Okay. Right, we are getting there. Believe it or not, we're on the second row. From the top, being the top, not the way we actually put it on. The way we actually put it on, it would be the bottom. Okay. Yeah, we still got hair. I'm looking at me now, but just to hurry it up, because I know y'all don't want to see me do all this, and then still learning editing, so trying to go fast for us, okay? Maybe not perfect, just enough to show you the next step. Move on. The next step, by the way, while I'm doing this, is going to be using the Crackle, okay? I want a little texture and crackle. Oh, it's so cool. In fact, I wanted to get a piece down, which I may do, to show you what's going to be next. Okay. What do you guys think? I think I've pretty much got it. And if I find a stray hair, you can let me know, or I'll find it. Do you see? Looking pretty good, right? It's going to be nice. And then you have your riser underneath, right? Mm-hmm. Good. It's a great thing. It's great from, a great find from, Dollar Tree for these plastic, well-shaped, actually just about a 12-incher. So, big. Love it. Okay, gonna get the materials out to get ready to do what? Crackle, for sure this time. Okay, no switching around. We got the rope on. Now we're gonna do some crackle here. That, or we may do some rope. One of the two. Okay, 2 seconds. Finishing up, putting the last bit of rope. What you do is you come in there with your glue gun and add you a bunch of glue. This is for your second time around. And you see I just lay it right on top of the glue that I just laid down. And you can feel the heat coming right through the plastic, because remember, this was just a sturdy plastic, but plastic. So you can feel the heat, so you kind of know exactly where you stopped. And now I need a glue gun. I'll be right back. What I'd meant to say was glue stick, not I need a new glue gun. Because I know I won't be able to edit that out because I don't know how. So this is real time. This is like a reality show in my life and on my channel. It is what it is, and it's all real. There's no faking and all kinds of special effects and all that kind of stuff. This is the channel for you then. Because I don't do that. I do crafts, and I show you how to do them. And I also put out a lot just showing you the finished product, you know, and how it looks after it's put in my home. And that's always fun, you know, to see the very end, right? Everybody wants to see that. Now what I'm doing is, because some of the glue stick material, get my words right, oozed out. So I took my little tool right there and I did a little wipe while it was still warm, and it took it right away. And I'm actually at the stopping point. The stopping is also the beginning of your point, okay? As you can see, I started there. So what I'm going to do is a cut along with the seams of the rope. The rope seams are going like that, right? So we're not going to go against them, we're going to go with them. That's how I'm going to make that cut right there, and then glue it, and it should lay right into that slot. Okay, well, we're going to give it a try anyway today. Get my big O scissors, because this is like mega rope. And these are tough scissors, and it takes all I had to get that off. And I had my glue gun ready with its new glue stick. I even know the name of stuff now. How about that? Okay, gave it a good ooze of glue stick. Nice and hot. Moving what smeared out. Now see, that comes with practice. I should have known not to put that much on. Put them on camera, you know, and then you, I think I mess up because of that. And see, and I caused myself a big old mess right there. It's okay. In crafting, let's see, Unicorn Dust Design, Sammy, there is no, how did she put it? Now I forgot. There is no mistakes in crafting. And let's see, Ash, there's another crafting with Ash or Corey. Oh goodness, those are my favorites. I love crafting with Corey or by Corey. There was something got messed up with her account, I think, or something, but she's all back up and running, and all her subscribers found her, and she's back up there to the thousands. I really give you pros, you know, thumbs up, because I do crafting because I just love it. I'm not even trying to sell it. I just would love people to get on and learn stuff or ask me questions and, you know, that kind of stuff. That's all I'm about. Don't have a side hustle. Maybe one of these days I'll learn to cut wood or something, or put together some kits. I'm looking for the fire stick as I'm talking to you. So we're going to give this little hairy, so hairy. This hairy, maybe I shouldn't put you through all this. In fact, I'm not going to. I'll be back after I got that and we'll be ready. Just to catch up on where we are at, we have done all 3, okay, for the Teir tray. It's going to be a big one, guys. Oh, it's going to be massive. Ha! Oh, it's going to look so good. I went ahead and decided that I wanted to protect this this part here and the rim to keep it white. And what we're going to do is I'm going to do a crackle technique on this one. And I'm kind of thinking about different for each one of these. Also, you'll need what are called risers, and I have been searching for these forever, and I've been holding on to the 2 that I have forever because I only have 2. And every time I go to the Dollar Tree, it doesn't matter which one I hit. What's the riser? They'll say. Or, yeah, they'll point me to the glass section. I haven't been able to find any. Maybe they just, everybody's bought them out. I don't know. I know this one came from the Dollar Tree. I was so happy. It was nice and tall. This one also, but this was Dollar General, actually. I need to guess hit other places. Try Dollar General and things like that. Anyway, need 2 of them if you're going to do a 3-tiered tray, okay? I was even thinking possibly 4. Anyway, we'll get there. There's me creating as we go. Okay, I do know that I'm going to put down for the crackle. This is how you have to do it. You have to use acrylic paint. So select whatever acrylic paint you got, as you see over here on, oh, that's blocking. There we go. I got all kinds of colors, right? Choose a color on the very first layer over your chalk paint of a color that you'd like to seep through to the next acrylic color that you're going to put down. That makes sense? You're going to have one color of acrylic, then we're going to do the Crackle Medium all over it, let it dry, then come in with that second color of acrylic. Okay, so for me, let's say I've done this one before where I've painted white acrylic and then came back and then put the Crackle Medium on there, let it dry, then I came back in with black, and then I pulled the black paint, as you'll see, because I'll do it live, and you're going to see magic happen. All these beautiful crackles and interesting textures going to happen. And of course I love peeling the tape to reveal a nice line, and we're going to have this white, and then I think, you know, with that, I think it's going to really look pretty. So let's get some of my things in, and the very end I'll be using, so you know, it's by Jolie. It's a finishing wax, protective top coat. It keeps it matte, and it hardens within 5 to 20 days. You definitely can't mess with it for the first 24 hours, you know, but really great stuff, okay? If you want to keep your stuff matte. If you like gloss, then you've got your other choice, what's it called? I'm sorry. Oh, Mod Podge. Mod Podge makes matte, and then they also make glossy. So I could use the glossy if I wanted gloss, but I don't. Okay, so I'm gonna put this aside. We won't need that for quite a while, so I'm gonna stash it back here along with all my other paint. So, Was it an ugly view? What view is that? Like hanging chicken neck? My hair is a mess. Okay, we're gonna get started on this. 2 seconds. Hi. Now, have yourself always, here's a little tip, a good brush. I don't know if it looks good, it feels good, I don't know, 2 inches, it says, but it's just really good. And what it's really good for is getting all the little particles that are flying around, especially after you just got the burning rope, and there's little pieces of that everywhere. And see there, I just got another little piece out. So you may think it's clean, but since you're going to be now putting down some major paint and crackling, you know, you want your surface clean. So a good brush, good little tip to tell you. I don't know how else to, you know, that kind of brush. It's soft. Okay, so let me put that down and get the real brush that we're going to use. And in fact, I'm going to use this one here. Get a little water going on. Oh, you know what? There. This actual. 1 second. Okay, I decided to go with blue, because then over the top of it, I'm going to go, lost my brush here. And then on top of it, I'm going to go white. So there'll just be a hint of this blue showing through. And, I just had my brush. Second here. All right, misplaced my brush. I had a little doggy interruption there, so I had to give a little attention. But basically, all I did was, you see here, some paint in a bottle, and it is acrylic paint. The label is off of it, so I can't tell you what brand it is. So sorry about that, but not much I can do. And I'm hoping, and there was just a little left in this blue bottle, and I haven't used it in quite a while, but years ago when I was doing more painting, I apparently liked this color. So there we go. What you're wanting to do, as you see, is to get a nice thick layer of an acrylic paint color. So I'm like, you know, you can go dark, and then like I'm going to do light on top of the dark, or you could go light and then a dark to come through, and then what, or on top, and then what would come through would be the lighter color. You know, anyway, I'm doing it this way. Okay, that's all we needed was just one coat. I do see it a little bit thin over here. We don't want any thinness going on. We want crackling to happen. Yay, right? Crackle. And then what I'm doing is, see, I can see that some of my layers, because I just poured it out there, and it's acrylic paint, and it's water-based, by the way. Don't be afraid of acrylic. I do, as far as paintings go, I love to do both, but my favorite is watercolor. And, but this is not a watercolor, although you can make it into a watercolor if you add enough water to your acrylic. I don't know if people knew that or not, but you don't have to have that bottle that says watercolor. There's just some places there on the end I wanted to see ruffled. When I pull it apart, there's going to be some interesting designs when I pull it up. I don't know if I'm saying right or not. But it's going to be pretty. I mean, look at that basket, the way it looks like a basket now, you know. And before we just had, it was just this clear plastic. I don't know what it would be used for. Possibly maybe picnics or something like that. So now what we need to do, which I'm going to do, Because as I was talking, I accidentally put a little blue up here. So before it becomes permanent, I'm wiping it off, or trying to. Adding just a little bit of water. See, no mistakes in crafting. There was a mistake, fixed it. Boom. We're out the gun. Still got a little blue left in here. Maybe if it turns out really nice on this tray, we'll see what maybe the bottom tray. Something different in the middle. Okay, yeah, still, oh, wait, here's something. Crafty Chica. And I got these. My mother owns a thrift shop and has for, what, 35 years now? And I got this paint actually there. So, yeah. I don't know where you'd buy it or anything other than, and she didn't have any more. That was a consignment. She takes things in consignment. If you're in Orlando, visit her. She's got the best thrift shop you'll ever find. She has the best stuff that comes in. People bring it in on consignment. Sometimes she buys outright. You get to come in and get an item that is a collector's, and get it maybe for $15 and it's worth $40. The best thrift shop ever. I know I'm gonna listen to myself going, there she is, rattling on. I'm trying to let the paint dry, but let's speed it up. I'm gonna go ahead and pause it and use a blow dryer. Alright, we're all dry now. I actually got up and did a few things, like, I picked up the napkins and things like that. Just, again, how important this was, because even now, look at there, I have a fan going, maybe that's the reason, but always, when your surface is dry, have a brush ready just before you're ready to apply your next coat, which in this case is our Crackle Medium. Yeah, it comes out all jelly like that. Crackle Medium by Folk Art is what we're using, okay? Just using one of these little things. What you're gonna do is just spread that around. I may squirt a little more. The heavier the crackle, the more crackle you're going to get in the end. So the thicker the crackle that you apply, the more crackle you're going to see in the end. So you have an option too, which is really doable. I've done some actually really pretty stuff, but just using a very light coat instead of a heavy coat. I'm going heavy on this one, obviously, and I can start to see that the chalk paint underneath everything, you can kind of see it bubbling up, so that means you've messed with it enough. It is spread enough. You can kind of see how shiny it is. That's where the Crackle Medium is, so pretty easy to put on. Don't ruin one of your brushes. Use one of these throwaway kind. Now I'll probably clean this out with soap and water and stuff and keep it, but I'm just saying don't mess with your brushes on it, because what happens is, let me show you that, yeah, halfway decent brush. I had decided to try it. It was an old brush, and I thought, oh, I'll try that one, and that's exactly what happened no matter what I did. So bristles don't take to crackle. Okay, so we got crackle down. Now it's got to dry, and the next thing that I wanted to do, because I want it more white than anything, and just some blue to crackle through, and that's going to be some white. That's out my mouth there. The white acrylic, and again, it's that same, I can't read it on that one, Crafty Chica. Crafty Chica. Give it a good shake. Keep your paints wet. your acrylic paints. If you've got a paint palette like I do, I've got one here and I got one over here that has all the colors in the world, all the, So, anyway, when you don't feel like keep putting on the lid and taking off the lid, just keep a good squirt bottle handy and give your paint palette a good squirt with it, and everything will stay cool and you won't have to worry about that. This, since I'm done with it for the moment, I'm not going to clean it because I may do another Teir with it, depending on how good this turns out. So, I'm anxious to get it to dry. So, you're going on pause because I know you don't want to hear this. Okay, we've done some drying on here. Whoops, wrong way. And as you can see, it doesn't look like it's dry, but just to let y'all know, it's dry. I did that, a good 30 minutes it took me to get that to dry. Usually what I do is leave it, I'll put it on, and then the next day it'll be completely dry. But I'm trying to make a video for y'all. Okay, so now let's hope it all works, right? It's time. So we've put on the acrylic blue. Then we put on the Crackle Medium, let it dry, completely dried. Then I wanted to come over it with white, okay? So here's my white, and basically the same idea. Well, you don't want things like that to fall in. Let me just clean that off of there. Ugh. Okay. Oh. Well, isn't that fun? Oh, you don't want to come off now. Come on. Well, I'll be darned. Get off of there. Actually, let me get my ladybug out. Goodbye. Little whatever you were. If you don't know what one of these are, which you probably do if you're a crafter, it's called a ladybug. Ladybug vacuum. And let me tell you, it is wonderful to have. Really good. Okay, back to this. Ready to see what I've created, if anything at all. Could be just a mess and I have to start over. We'll see. Okay, brushes and another. There. Okay, another little chippy thing. I guess I need to clean those paints. Okay, then you just take yourself your white paint, whatever color you chose, your second acrylic. Has to be acrylic paint. No chalk paint, acrylic. Looks like I'm getting a little dry. And a little more. And there we go. Smooth my brush strokes out a little bit. And guess what? It's dry time. This is when all the magic starts to happen. It's starting to happen now, actually. You can begin to see some of the blue starting to come through. Don't know if that looks very pretty or not, but it's looking pretty to me, but it isn't done yet. We've got to let it completely crackle. My brush over there in some water. And guess what? I'm going to hurry the process along. Okay? So, when you come back, we'll see what we got. Actually, I got to thinking, maybe you'd like to see how it's crackling. I mean, from the last time I showed you, just 2 seconds. Watch this. Look at that crackle. All that beautiful blue is going to come through. And then when I take the blue tape off, we should have an interesting little design. And then a nice pure white edge. it isn't crackling. Alright, that's my idea anyway. We're going to see how it worked out. I'm curious to see what this part does. Alright, you seeing it crackle, guys? Look at that go. I find that absolutely amazing, and it's so beautiful. I just don't know if you can see how pretty that is. I think this blue tape is messing us up for maybe your visual. But it is quite beautiful. Really, really, really pretty. Yeah. Loving it. Okay. Well, I'm going to do some of this, a little bit more, so I don't want to put you through that. I'll be right back. Okay, she's all dry, and here comes the fun part where I'm going to take off the tape here, and let's see what we've created. If we like it or don't like it. First time I've done it, so see, it wasn't quite dry right there, but yeah. Okay. Did not dry as well as I wanted in the inside there, did it? Okay. So, like I said, all things are fixable. Let's see if this is fixable. I don't want that like that. That's disappointing. You know? But it looks like... Oh yeah. Okay, that's good. Comes right off. Rubbed it right off. Okay, good. Because I'm anxious to keep on going with this project and decide whether or not I want to do this for every tray, because there's 3 of them. So, there's decisions to make. Alright. I used to have nails, you know, and go get my nails done and all that stuff. As you could see, wouldn't that be just a mess? As much as I use my hands and my nails, they'd be popping off constantly. Oh, and they were so painful when they pop off too. I am actually glad to be done with the nail business, where I had to keep going in to get it filled every 2 weeks, you know. Waste of money, waste of time, and messed up the bed of my nail. So, no more nails for me. No more nails. Okay, this, I think is cool as heck, okay? Ta-da! Isn't that pretty? Look at that crackle. Oh, that is so nice. Once you get your tier tray, for instance, let's pretend, you know, that's on a tray there, and then there's another centerpiece that'll go here, and then the next piece like that. Yeah, see, I like that. That looks really cool. I don't know if I'll do every one like that or not. What do y'all think? Do some comments. I need to know. Okay. I'm really liking the way that looks. I don't know that I want it for every tier. By the way, these are the beginning of Yule logs that I just grabbed. I'm in the middle of making those too. I usually got 2 or 3 projects, you know, lined up and ready to go. So it's like one after another. As soon as I get through with the tier tray, then setting it all up. You know, I've already got the Yule logs ready for some of that. Some more of my cute little gnomes that I just adore. So on to the next one, basically. Okay, I'm gonna let this dry just a little bit. I can still see it's wet around the inside, but you know, that's cool. I like farmhouse. What it looks like from a distance. Can y'all see that from a distance? It's kind of crazy, isn't it? Oh goodness, trying to get everything in on the camera. I just think it is so pretty. So pretty. Not sure though that I want to do that with this one. So this one is our next challenge. And sitting there, look at there, got all kinds of little stuff floating around in it. This one I was thinking about, it kind of came with, believe it or not, when I was doing it, the chalk paint kind of gave me a crackle-like deal, so I like that. I'm just going to keep it. This over here, I don't know what I'm going to do with that. Looks like some of that. Yeah, but I'm liking that rustic. I think what I'll do is rustic this up with some antique, yeah, some brown, yeah. Okay, in that creative process, okay, be right back. Okay, we're on our second tray. I decided to go with this beautiful red, and I darkened it so it's kind of a more of a Christmassy dark red. And we're at the process already. I've put the medium, the Crackle, already on, so we're in the drying period. And I also, because the rim, I just didn't get a really good paint job, so what I did is I went in and with my white acrylic and redid the rim. So I wanted it to really be nice and white and bright, and especially when I take off the tape. And I'm gonna go over this with white, so it'll be crackled with the red underneath the white, okay? Just like we did the blue. Only, you know, it's gonna be the red, okay? It's a long process, it really is. I pause it to get through some of this because it would be an hour if you watching me do all this stuff. But, so I'm trying to learn just to come in, come out, give you the main points, and moving on. Okay, so I will be back. I'm going to go ahead and let this dry and then apply the top coat, which is going to be white acrylic. Okay, remember, acrylic, crackle, acrylic. Okay, I shall return. Hi, here's the Crackle. This is the red, the Crackle, then the white. And look what we have. Look at that crackling going on. It's beautiful. Ooh, I love the red under there. And then, of course, when I take off this blue, that's just tape. And once I make sure it's good and dry, because this is the slowest part to dry, I found out. So I'm going to do some more blow drying and really get it dry, then take it off, okay? And I'll be back. Definitely takes a lot of time, this project. But it's a lot of fun if you wanted just to sit back, put a movie on, and do this. And see some fun effects, okay? Alright, well, I'm going to finish up. Be right back. Okay, here we go. This is it. All three are done. We did a beautiful black for the end here with the white over the top. Right? Pretty, pretty. And I thought that's lovely. It looks like peppermint candy. And of course, the beautiful blue. That, oh, stunning. Just really pops. And then these all together on a tier tray. Okay, the video's been pretty long, but it was instructional. I tried to, I hope I taught you something, showed you a different way to do a tier tray. I have not seen anybody use the crackle effect on the tier trays at all. So I think this is like original. Okay, hope you enjoyed it. Please come back, subscribe, ring the little bell so it tells you when I upload another video. and subscribing. It really helps my channel grow. And thank you for joining me. And again, I hope you enjoyed this. I will be, the next video, I will have it, we'll put it together. We're going to put the stands together, etc., and decorate it all up, okay? So, beautiful, right? I mean, wow. Wow. Knockout. Okay, bye. I love it. I hope you do too. Okay, bye.